These so-called right-to-work laws, they don't have to do with economics, they have everything to do with politics. What they're really talking about is giving you the right to work for less money.
Forged in the Jim Crow South, the deceptively named right-to-work movement is steeped in a decades-long legacy of bigotry and violence. In the 1930s, African Americans in the South toiled under plantation-like conditions, condemned to terrible poverty and systemic discrimination in all areas of their lives. Black workers were relegated to low-paying, physically demanding sharecropping jobs, shut out of higher-skilled manufacturing jobs, and the promise of upward mobility. By the end of the decade, the economy was recovering from the Great Depression, and the national labor movement was taking hold, enabling American workers of all colors to negotiate together for better wages and safer working conditions. During World War II, Black men and women worked alongside their white brothers and sisters and entered into desegregated unions. For the first time, African American families began to move into the middle class. These changes terrified the Southern white establishment, whose power relied for decades on the oppression of Black workers and the relentless stoking of racial fears among white workers. The Southern elites found their answer in Vance Muse, a Texas oil lobbyist and open KKK supporter. Muse had a sinister resume. He fought women's suffrage, supported child labor, and spoke openly about his hatred for Blacks and Jews. Muse seized on the disingenuous slogan, right to work, and lobbied states to pass anti-union laws that preserved the interests of the wealthy elites and ensured the continued disenfranchisement of Black workers.
All labor has dignity.
Martin Luther King understood how intimately related were labor and civil rights, and how hard it would be to gain ground on one front if we lagged on the other. Despite King's prophetic warnings, the right-to-work movement grew, disguising its racist past by co-opting the language of the civil rights movement, promising freedom and choice while trampling workers' rights. Today, the right-to-work movement is backed by shadowy special interests motivated by the same desires to accumulate wealth at the expense of working families. Workers of color suffer disproportionately in states with right-to-work laws, and these laws drive down wages for all workers, union and non-union members alike. This year, the Supreme Court will rule on Janus versus AFSCME. The corporate interests behind this case are asking the court to overlook the racist legacy of right to work. The freedom of all working people is at stake.